Hi, it's Wasabi. Welcome back to the channel. This video is on one of the two new reward tanks for the Battle Pass season. As mentioned in some other videos, Battle Pass is now combined with the Steel Hunter and Frontline modes, so you can earn Battle Pass points in all those modes, as well as playing in random battles. Now, the Kunze Panzer is German medium tank, tier 9, and it's a bit reminiscent of the early Leopard designs, and it's basically one of the West German tanks, post-war tanks. So let's have a look at the characteristics. First of all, let's have a look at the gun and ammunition. So the standard round is APCR. It's got a shell velocity of 1478, which is pretty premium there. It's pretty high shell velocity there, so you're going to get a nice flat trajectory. And the average penetration is around about 260, depending on the distance. So 268 at close range, 258 at longer range at 500 meters. So a bit of a drop off there, standard for APCR. And the average damage is 390. The premium round is heat, and that brings your average pen up to 300, and the shell velocity is still pretty good for heat rounds. It's over 1100, so nearly 1200 meters per second, 1173. Same average damage, and then we've got the HE round with the same shell velocity, 1173, average penetration 53 being HE round, but higher average damage, which will be around about high or mid 500s. 53 would be good for squishy tank destroyers with just standard gun shields, or in fact the rear of most tanks really. So we'll see whether we get to use that. We have configured this tank in terms of equipment with vents. We've got a crew with BIA, so we're using vents to add to that. Optics, we'll have a look at view range in a second, and vertical stabilizer for reducing the gun bloom on turret rotation and hull movement. The other couple of things about consumables with these two reward tanks, this and the K91 PT tank destroyer, you do get basically an unlimited standard large repair kit. So that will save you some coin. If you're running low on repair kits, this won't cost you anything to replace that. It's basically free large repair kits for life for the tank. You can move it in the slots, but you can't take it out and put it on another tank. So to that we've added Chocolate, being a German tank. So if you have a look at our crew skills now, they're 121 for the commander and 133 for the rest of the crew. So let's have a look at the firepower. Looked at part of that. Rate of fire 7.37 seconds. We've got the gun loading down to 8.14. Now in siege mode, that adds 2 seconds to that, but you do get improved accuracy. Gun traverse 42. Gun depression, this is excellent here. 15 degrees of gun depression and 20 degrees of elevation. It's really quite dramatic to see it doing 15 degrees of gun depression. Aim time 2.36. This is relatively slow, and don't forget this is with the crew skills and with food, and we'll see the effects of that in the gameplay coming up. And dispersion at 100 meters of 0.37. We've brought that down with the crew skills and food, so it is standard is 0.4. So that gives us an average DPM of 2.8k with the crew and the additional consumables, which is borderline. It's slightly below average, I would say. Anyway, 1600 hit points, very little armor to speak of, only 40 on the hull front and 63 on the turret front, and the rest of it really is immaterial. You will lose a lot of health, particularly from Arty. Again, you'll see that in the gameplay. At the moment, it's a bit of an Arty magnet, I think, because it's new, but nonetheless, if you do get hit by Arty, you're going to lose big chunks of health. Mobility is one of its strengths. Good engine power and specific power, so reasonable acceleration, top speed of 65 and a reverse speed of 23, so you can then get into and out of situations relatively quickly. Hull traverse speed of 50, and you can see 2 seconds to switch into siege mode and back to travel mode. And I said siege mode essentially for this tank is improved gun dispersion, but reduced DPM with the extra 2 seconds in loading, and it does reduce your travel speed from about 60 kilometers an hour down to about 30 odd kilometers an hour. So you can move around in siege mode, and it's much faster than, say, the TDs in siege mode like the Strivs, but it does impede your mobility quite substantially. Concealment, we've got a crew with partial concealment, so 25 is pretty average there. Spotting, so our base view range is 400, that's without anything, to which we've got food, coded optics, vents, and brothers in arms skill and recon. Now this is a 4-man crew, so the commander carries both recon and situational awareness, the radio operator skills, but I'll just pull this crew across from other medium tanks that are a 5-man crew, so this commander doesn't have the situational awareness, so you could actually get that up to over 500 quite easily with the extra skills. So that's probably enough about the tank. Even though it's got good gun depression, you're going to struggle to use that on hills unless you're pretty far away, but will get you, shots in situations where you might not get that with other tanks, but we'll have a look at the gameplay and see how that plays out. Alright, time for some gameplay in the Kunze Panzer. We're in a tier 8, tier 9 game, so we're top tier and we're on the steps map in standard battle mode. Alright, we're going to head to the hill at F0 to start with, just to try and spot down the 0 line. We've got a Barask with us, and there's a nudist there to provide support, and that's an enemy Lynx trying to push down and spot us, so we'll see what happens there. Crew we've got is part camo, so it's not the most camo you can get on the tank, but okay, so far not spotted by the Lynx. Alright, try and snapshot there, that doesn't go through. It gives you an idea of the accuracy of the gun, but we're just trying to get some shots on him. Okay, now we spotted a T-34, and I don't think he's spotted us now. I'm just going to try and go through the commander's hatch there. It's a bit of a difficult shot, so I'm not going to blame the tank for not going through there, but we'll just persevere. He's in a bit of a hold down position there, so there's no point going for the mantlet. We've really got to go for the cupola on top. Didn't see what happened there, but we have picked up some spotting damage. So that's one thing about this tank, the base view range is 400 meters, so you do have a chance to spot so you can see on the minimap we've got a pretty large view range circle, and that T-34, it's not a surprise you can't see, he's right at the edge of the circle, so we'll be outside his draw range. He's probably going to take some blind shots now. That one went through, but as you can see, that was like the third shot that we tried to put in his commander's hatch, so pretty low probability one there. Just there you go, another one. We're not projecting. Now they're pushing down here. This is probably more than we can handle. Not forgetting our reload time is around 8 seconds, and this TL1 PC, we snap a shot towards him, but that did seem to connect, and luckily nothing came back here is hitting us, so which is good. So I'm just going to head to this back corner, get up on top and try and both light them and snipe them, but they probably do know where we are, so just have to be careful. And you do, on this problem with this rock with tanks on that side, you'd have to poke out a bit to spot them. And there, okay, Artie has decided to blind fire, and he'll know from the reaction that he got quite a hit, and you can see there the squishy armor is not holding up, and now we got spotted again, so I'll just have to watch out for that. And we've got 1800 hit points, oh, sorry, 1600, which is less than the leopard PTA by 100, I think. Oh, I just missed an opportunity to shoot there. Okay, can we put a shot on the side here? Well, don't know where that one went. And we got lit again. Now there could be something else lighting us, of course, not necessarily with these tanks. Now we managed to hit the Renegade there. Now he's a tier 8, so no problem going through the front of that tank. Not that the T-34 wasn't a tier 8, but this is a medium tank, so not a problem. But however, where did that shot go? So I think you're seeing the accuracy of the gun here. At 0.40, you're going to miss a few shots. Now, can we get any more shots in on that Renegade? Is he going to sit behind there? And again, get hit by arty. I think one of the problems playing these new tanks is that the artillery decide they want to get a kill of one of the new tanks. So they will just focus you, which is a bit of a pain. Okay, there's a tortoise up there. Can we spot him? No, he's gone dark. So try to be patient here, just not trying to overpoke and get unnecessarily wasted. We just do not have the armour, but there we go. Finally get a shot into the 50 TP. That puts him back into cover. And again hit by arty. Yeah, so 3 big hits by arty. You can see each time we're losing 400 plus hit points with no real armour to speak of. And of course probably landing on the engine deck. We can see where the splashes are. So I don't think this is a position we can stay in much longer. We're just a bit worried about where that tortoise is. Okay, here comes a Scorpion. Now he's a one shot. Let's see if we can sneak around and get him. Right, he's keeping pushing, so we'll just get ready for him, get our aiming in. Alright, good. That worked. We're to get spotted again, and we're just hugging the rock here, basically trying to avoid the incoming arty. So I think, you know, if you're playing the Leopard PTA, you're probably familiar with parts of how this tank would work. It has better armour slightly, has certainly better gun dispersion. Doesn't have the siege mode, but it does have, keeps its DPM regardless of which way you're playing the tank. Now of course you can choose never to go into siege mode in this one to get the extra accuracy, but then you're going to live with that dispersion. You see, mobility is pretty good. We're just going along flat ground here at around 60 plus, so that's alright. There's that 50 TP, can we get rid of him? No, he gets killed anyway. Here comes that Lynx. Try and get out of his way for the moment, don't want to lose any hit points to him. Can we get rid of that 234? Let's just try and get up this little slope here. Now I've just gone into siege mode here, and let's just go external. So it's basically we can jack the tank up. Well, you won't see that. The tank goes and does its suspension alteration automatically. This is just basically about an extra accuracy mode rather than a physical change. But when you're in that siege mode, your top speed drops down to around about 35. Luckily for us, the tortoise turns and gives us his side as he starts to move. And we're still using standard rounds here, so the average pen is around about 220. And we get another shot in there, which is nice. So now we're about 2,500 damage. So again, you have to be absolutely patient here. This game itself is in balance. Teams are even in terms of tank losses, but we're down on hit points, so we do need to get some kills. Let's see if we get a glimpse of this tortoise. No, it just goes through the gap without showing a whole lot. So it's going to come back and support the Barras there. My T-34 is basically not doing anything. And in fact, he goes down to the Brask, which was a nice get. And looks like the Lynx is in the back up on the hill. Now that is not a good thing. He's probably looking for the Artie. And our Brask is hightailing it out of there, which is the absolute right thing to do. Can we get this Lynx popping up? Unfortunately for him, the blind shot worked. So that was a nice outcome. Let's go to T50's popped up. Now we've sort of got them caught in a corner of the map, or down one side of the map. If this was Claymores, we'd say we had map control. It's not quite the same in random battles, but nonetheless their movements are severely compromised. This tortoise basically is now stuck in a corner. He can't really move. He can get head on to most of his targets, but not all of them. And in fact, we're getting his sight again, so that's nice. Can we get the kill? No. Goes down to the Brask, so that's fine. 2.8k. And there's the Skoda. Can we get a shot into him? No, he backs off before we can load. Aim properly. You see the aim time really is probably not the best. So not only do you have poor dispersion, you've also got fairly long aim time. And we are running food and... Oh no, sorry, we're not running food. Perhaps we should run food. We've got a BIA crew and vents. So doing our best in terms of crew skills. Still got a fairly long aim time. Yeah, just going in, you can see now we're slowed down. We're going into siege mode. And we do lose DPM here. It adds a whole 2 seconds to your reload time. Put a snap into that STA1, but that doesn't connect. I need to do better here, but we're not lighting him up. Okay, there he is again. Finally, we get the kill. Gets us over 3k. That's nice. But again, we've only got 212 hit points left after the Artie has touched us up, so just got to be careful going in and making sure that we get the most value out of the game. In fact, there's the Artie. Let's see if we can get some revenge. Now we're definitely not going to ram him. Oh no, he goes down. Bit of bad luck. Okay, remaining tank, E75. Any chance of damage? No, you get shot as well. Alright, well that's the game. Not terribly satisfying. A good damage total in the end, although not spectacular given that it was tier 9 and tier 8s. But it does give you an idea of the capabilities of the tank there. We might just see if we can put another gameplay up. Okay, so it's going to be another example of the gameplay. We're on the Ghost Town map, and in standard battle still, and this time we've added food as a consumable. So that does improve our overall dispersion and reload times a fraction. So that'll stack with the vents and the BIA. So as with the steps map from the previous game, this is a fairly open map. Obviously it's sitting in the middle, but you do have some long ranges here, so you can use the view range of the tank and the spotting range to basically keep away from the enemy and try not to get spotted. So that's exactly what we're trying to do here. And you can see also the reticle, the way that the crossbars come up, that is part of the tank design. I don't think it comes with the mods, so when we go into full sniper mode, you get that nice crosshair, just give you a feeling that you're getting accuracy that you may not actually be getting. Anyway, we've got T-34B we just smacked, and unfortunately couldn't load in time for the Tiger 2. And again, we're in a tier 9, tier 8 game, so top tier. So just looking out for targets, we've got some lights and extra lights, mediums and tank destroyers running down the one line from the enemy. And we might lose our arty if they don't move. And there's a Brigitte giving his opinion on the strengths of the team. Alright, my CBR gone. Let's see if we can pick up some action over there. Certainly not getting anywhere we were. Spot that 122 TM again. No, nothing in the town either. Right, let's get over the top of the hill and have a look. See where that Wheezy 120 is. It'll be easy meat if we can spot him. Nothing's come up. I don't know where they've gone. Oh, there we go. They're trying to basically crest here. Unfortunately, just got the rounded part of the turret of the Wheezy 120. I think if we'd just got him a touch lower down, it would have been gone. He's come up. Yeah, we put a nice shot into him. Got a nice high roll, 424. We can send quite a fair variation in the damage rolls down to the low 300s and into the low 400s. So. Don't be surprised, yeah, if you see a few there. And yes, some arty attention. Why am I not surprised? Now, that could have been because the our arty got spotted, so the enemy arty targeted, but we copped a fair whack there. Again, another 400 odd hit points lost. So, a bit of an arty magnet and doesn't do well with it. Now there's that Wheezy 120, we're going to stand in this gap. We do is snap a shot there, but didn't connect. So firing on the move is a bit of a limitation. Crew skills related to that, we do have snapshot on the gunner and smooth ride for the driver. So we're doing, and vert stabs as well, so doing our best to try and keep the ability to shoot on the move alive, but the tank I think is letting us down a little bit there. Alright, game still in the balance. We are down on hit points quite substantially. It's a team that is. And now we're loading HE for that Borsig. Can we line him up and get him? Look at that bloom. Do get a beautiful, nice high roll there, 522 with the HE. So that was definitely worth choosing there. Switch back to standard rounds. Let's see if we can get this UDES. He's behind the building. What else is there? Yeah, the strip behind him, so we don't really want to go and push around the corner. Oh, yes. Oh, his tracks. That's no good. But he gets taken out by the T10. We've made back some of the hit point. Oh, we've definitely improved our hit point position. Let's see if we can put some heat into this object 274A. I'm not getting his outline there. Must be down behind the berms there. This Tiger 2. No, that snapshot didn't go anywhere. Now we're using standard rounds. Again, the pen is about 220. That's typically enough for a tier 8. The heat rounds have a penetration of 300, so you would need that for tier 9, tier 10 game. Oops, showing off some driving. And we're safe now because the strip is gone. Okay, got any more shots here? Going to use some cover to come up here, again protecting our armour. That's that 122 TM. Now he's got a 14-second load, so he's in a much worse position than we are. We can definitely out DPM him. And we finally get a kill. That brings us up to just over 2,000 hit points of damage. And looks like this Tiger 2 is now pretty much on his own. So now let's try and flank him and get some rear shots. Should be facing the other way. In fact, he is, yep. So nice shot there. Is he turning around? Doesn't look like it. He's still trying to face the other way, I think. Oh no, he's coming our way. Alright. Let's see if we can get him before he hits us. Yes, managed to do that. Get our second kill. Alright, so the game has turned definitely in our favour now. There's the artillery up there. Oh, that'd be nice to shoot him. See, there we go, low roll, 371. Would be nice to have gotten the kill there. Takes us over 3,000. And we're lit, that'd be the Kanoni Panzer, I would say. Oh no, it's the object 274, can we get a shot on him? Oh, we do, and we get the kill. So that's 3 kills, that's nice. And there's only 2 tanks left, the T-92, actually that could be what was lighting us. He's in the middle somewhere, the Kanoni Panzer is behind a rock, so definitely the T-92 is out there in the middle. And the fact that there he is right in the bushes, so we'll just go for him, and in fact we get the kill. So that gives us 4 kills. And let's see if we can get anything on this Canadian Panzer. No, he gets taken out by the E50, and that is the end of the game. So look, in conclusion, let's just wrap up on this tank. Again, style very similar to the Leopard PTA. Would I recommend it? Is it worth 18 tokens? It really is going to depend on what your real preferences are. If you're good at playing the PTA, you'll probably get the most out of this tank. Similarly, the STB1, there are some parallels there. So if you currently play the STB1 and you get reasonable results out of that, then you might enjoy this tank as well. So it definitely has its downsides, DPM being one, particularly in siege mode, and the accuracy when not in siege mode. So they're the balancing factors. Is it worth 18 tokens? I think for that you've got to look at the other choices that are there. Of the new tanks, you've got the K91 PT, the tank destroyer, sort of a mini object. That's only 12 tokens, and then you've got the 9 token tanks, which are the ones introduced last year, which are the Charford 4, the Object 777, and the A1, A1, Phase 1, whatever. Yeah, which are 9 tokens, and so if you do finish all of Battle Pass and you get 18 tokens, then you've got a choice of 2 tanks there that you can get together. So I think still your choice. My recommendation will certainly be having a look at the K91 PT, but from what I've seen of the gameplay, yep, looking like a bit of a mini Object 268 version 4 at tier 9. Certainly better than what the tier 9 version of the Object is, but again, we'll reserve our judgment on that one for the moment. But for 18 points, I don't think I'll be getting one. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.